Welcome back to the Sports Perspective TV viewers and subscribers. As always, thank you for tuning in. And if this is your first time coming across the channel, definitely hit that subscribe button. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the West Indies team reviewing their match against Papua New Guinea. And then, of course, as you can tell from the thumbnail, the big question is, should the West Indies make any changes for their second match against Uganda? Or better yet, would you make any changes to the team for that second match against Uganda? So I'm going to be sharing a few details of the match, some stats, and also sharing my opinion on whether or not I think the team should make any changes. But you should definitely also share your thoughts in the comment section as to whether or not you want the team to make any changes in this match, right? So, so starting with the so obviously the batting, right? The batting was the most disappointing thing from this match against Papua New Guinea. But the most important thing was that the team won. And so a win is always important. So the most important thing was that the team won. But we definitely weren't satisfied with the way the team batted and the rate at which they scored and how long it took them to chase down the total set by Papua New Guinea, right? So so if the bowlers bowled well, right? So if there are any changes to be made, or if there are any changes that will be made, I'm sure majority of the people would agree that it would have to be a change in the batting, right? And if you think about the batting, there are quality replacements. So you have a Shamar Hetmyer who can come in, a Shai Hope who can also come in and help with the bat. The batsman that failed in the in the match were Charles, right? So he didn't score, and of course Sheffield Rutherford, he was only able to make 2 runs. So if there are any changes that are going to be made to the batting, more than likely it would be those batsmen that would be replaced. But just to go back to the main issue that most people have with the team is that the team didn't score fast enough throughout their innings, right? And if you think about it, even though Charles and Rutherford they didn't score much runs, that issue that we have with the team not scoring fast, that wasn't really as a result of Charles or Rutherford. So the team chased down the total in 19 overs, which means that the team batted a total of 114 balls in their innings. And Charles only faced 1 ball, and Rutherford only faced 7 balls. So that means that the other batsmen that batted, they faced majority of the balls that we faced in that innings. And some of these players are considered undroppable. So, for example, so Brandon King, you know, he made 34, but it took him 29 balls to make those 24 runs, those 34 runs. I'm sure no one is considering a drop in Brandon King because we've seen that he is in good form, and that 34 was actually the top scorer in the match, right? And Nicholas Pooran, you know, he made 27 from off 27 balls. Again, you know, if the issue we have is the team not scoring fast, 27 from 27 is definitely not fast enough. But no one will advocate for Nicholas Pooran being dropped from the team for the next match. Captain Ravman Powell, he made 15 from 14. Again, remember the issue that we have is the team not chasing down the total fast enough. 15 from 14 is definitely not fast enough, but we definitely aren't considering to drop Ravman Powell either. And Roston Chase, you know, he made 42 from 27. You know, that he scored at a very good pace, and it was his innings that carried us over the line, along with Angelo, so who scored 15 from 9 balls as well. You know, that's a decent pace as well. So when you look at the batting, the issue that we have with the team is that the team didn't score fast enough, right? But that wasn't because of Charles or Rutherford for the most part. You know, obviously we want them to score runs, right? And they did not. So it would be justifiable if they were dropped for the next match based on that. But the team won the match, and the issue that we have with the team is that they didn't score fast enough. And it's the players that batted majority of the balls that contributed to that mainly, right? So King faced 29 balls, Pooran faced 27, Chase faced 27, but he scored at a good rate. Russell and Powell, right? So none of those players, will be dropped, right? So no one is considering to drop King, Pooran, Powell, or Russell. And Chase, Chase is undroppable now after that match-winning performance. So, in my opinion, I think the same team should be given an opportunity to play against Uganda again, including Charles and Rutherford. And because again, they weren't the main ones that faced most of the balls, right? It was the other batters. So the team on a whole, that same team should be given an opportunity to play against Uganda again. And if Charles or Rutherford fail in the match against Uganda, then by all means, then they can be dropped for the remaining matches in the group. And then there would be valid reasons for that. So they failed in the first match, yes, so that's a valid reason to drop them. But we know what Johnson Charles can do. We saw what he did in the South Africa series after failing for the first few matches. Then he came and played a blistering innings. Rutherford in that Australia match, we saw what he did, scoring 48 from 17 or something like that. So even though they did not contribute in the first match, we know that they can score and score quickly, once they get in and on their day, and in T20 cricket, every day won't be your day, right? So in my opinion, give them another chance in the match against Uganda. And if they fail, then they can be dropped. And then, like I said, there will be valid reasons. Not only did they fail in multiple matches, these first two matches are against the weakest opponents in the group, right? So both Papua New Guinea and Uganda are associate nations, and they are the weakest teams on paper in the group, which, so we expect every team in the group to beat them. So the fact that they failed against the weakest teams in the group would be valid enough reason to not include them in the match against Afghanistan, in the matches against Afghanistan and New Zealand, based on that. And like I mentioned earlier, there are quality replacements in the form of a Shamar Hetmyer or a Shai Hope to come in and replace them. So, and that's a good thing about the depth of this team. Even the players on the bench, when they do come in, there is not a drop in quality, and that's the good thing about healthy competition for places. So whichever player gets replaced, whether it's a Charles or Rutherford, depending on which of them perform, or if they don't perform in the next match, there are quality replacements there that will come into the team and not drop the standard in quality of the team, right? So, and with that speaks to the depth of the West Indies batting. And so in my opinion, I think both Charles and Rutherford should be given a chance to play in the Uganda match again, because the other batsmen faced more balls than them. So I think the same team should be given a chance to play against Uganda, and then based on that, then the players can be dropped. From a bowling standpoint, now, the bowling was very good against Papua New Guinea. All the bowlers, they bowled well. Akil Hussain, he bowled brilliant. So did Shamar Joseph, Andre Russell, Romario Shepherd, Motie, and Chase as well. Even though Chase didn't take any wickets, but we already know that Chase won't be dropped because of his batting performance, right? So all the bowlers were pretty much economical. But I also want to make a point for Obed McCoy, though. So going up against Uganda, so in the match between Uganda and Afghanistan, which was so at the time of this recording, that match was played last night, and we saw that Uganda struggled against the bowling of the Afghanistan bowlers. They were bowled out pretty cheaply. But leading the way for Afghanistan in that match was their left-handed pace bowler Faruqi. He took the most wickets in that match for them, which means that Uganda, they struggled against that left-handed pace bowling, right? So I was just the thought came across my mind, as to whether or not Obed McCoy should be included for this match based on that reason, based on the fact that Uganda struggled against the left-handed pacer of Afghanistan. And it was just based on that why I was that thought came across my mind whether or not we should include Obed McCoy in this match. So Faruqi, he took 5 wickets against them, right? 5 for 9 in that match against Uganda. Obed McCoy, and it was very skillful bowling by him. He was swinging the ball both ways. A lot of pace variations, and yeah, he posed a lot of problems for the Ugandan batsmen. Obed McCoy can do similar things in terms of the variation and his control. So, and if the conditions allow, he can get the ball to move around a bit as well, to swing a bit. So, it was that in mind why I was thinking maybe Obed McCoy can be given consideration for this match from a bowling perspective. But then, all the bowlers performed well in that match against Papua New Guinea. So dropping any of them, will be a bit tough. But definitely let me know what your thoughts are if you think Obed McCoy, should be given an opportunity in the second match against Uganda, again based on not because any of the bowlers performed poorly in the match against Papua New Guinea, but just based on the opponent that we're coming up against and seeing how they performed against the left-handed pace bowling of Afghanistan, of the Afghanistan bowler Faruqi, taking a lot of wickets against them. So it was that in mind why I'm thinking that Obed McCoy might or should be given a look in for this Uganda match. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think the team should make any changes to this to the lineup for the second match? And if so, what players, who would you omit from the team and who would you include in the team? So that's all I have for you in this video, viewers and subscribers. As always, thank you for tuning in. Definitely remember to like the video, share your thoughts in the comment section, and also subscribe to the channel if you have not done so as yet. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.